Hello guys, I'm Powfu and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
I think this year was when I first started kind of listening to your music and kind of getting hooked on your style and your sound. Now you just released your newest EP, and before we jump into more details on that EP, like I'm curious what your mindset was in creating multiple parts on this particular EP.
Um, I mean, I kind of I when I make songs, I just make whatever I'm feeling like in that day. So it's usually always different. Like I always have so many songs started that I want to finish, and they're all just different styles. So whatever I'm feeling like that day is like the song I'll work on. And I like keeping like all my Some Boring Love Stories EPs. I kind of had like different styles of songs, I guess. So like I had like some punk songs, some slower lo-fi songs, and it's I don't know, I kind of like having like different different styles so that people each have like their own favorite song on the EP. And that's kind of what I was aiming for.
And that's one of the things that made me really get addicted to your sound and your style, because you kind of dabble a lot with a lot of different sounds and styles, and I feel
Mhm.
like you kind of you nail each and every one of them, something that I don't feel like
Thank you.
everybody can really conquer. So
Thank you.
how were you able to kind of marinate all these styles and genres together and to create what you are making today?
Um, I'm not sure to be honest. I mean, like growing up, I listened to a lot of punk rock music. And then in my teen years, I listened to a lot of hip hop. So I kind of like, it's kind of just like naturally hip hop and punk are kind of the two genres that I go between, I guess. And then in this newer EP, I kind of had like a hyper pop song, which is kind of like, I don't know, electric punk type music, I'd say. And so it's like the vocals are still punk, but the beat is just like what sounds different. So it's kind of like, I don't know. All I do is basically I'll try and rap sometimes, or when I sing, it's kind of like punkish sounding, and it's kind of the beats I feel like that like alternate as well, and I just try and match the lyrics with the beat. But
But
yeah,
like the way that you kind of navigate from singing to rapping, like it's just it seems so flawless for you. Like,
thank you.
is that something that just naturally kind of happened for you, or did you kind of have to learn to be able to, I guess, control your voice the way that you do with your music?
Yeah, no, I mean I wish it was natural, but like if you go back and listen to my first songs, like even like I was making music before Powfu, and it was awful. And then like even like my earlier Powfu songs is still like you can hear like the difference in my voice. And it's really weird because I used to be like a shitty singer. My parents would always tell me to like stop singing and stuff. And then slowly it just developed somehow. Like I thought if you're a bad singer, like you'll stay a bad singer. I thought it was kind of like you're born with it or not. But somehow I developed my voice and it was just from practicing. So
And what was really like that artist development like? Was it literally just practicing? Was it a lot of like, did you have any lessons? Like, I know your dad is also a musician. So
Mhm.
did he play a role in kind of helping you learn to sing and how to do techniques with when it comes to vocals?
I mean, he knows a lot of techniques and stuff, but I always ignored it. Like I thought it was just dumb. So I didn't really do any techniques or anything. I would just after school or after work, I'd just go in my room and just record and like recording every day, I guess just slowly I'd get better and the songs started coming out better.
And as far as like recording goes, like how did you kind of develop that producer knowledge um, to make the music that you do today? Because it's like again, you're bouncing from various genres, but you're making it sound like one organic sound. So like,
Mhm.
what kind of trial and error did you kind of go through before you discovered who you like, what your music sounds like?
Yeah, I mean, kind of same thing. When I started though, I was leaning a lot more to the rapping side and I'll just record rap songs. And then I kind of started adding like singing parts more and more to my music. And now like I would say I probably sing more than I rap. And it's same thing. Like basically I'll just try different things. Like I'd use I started on GarageBand and then I upgraded to Logic once I started Powfu. And same thing. Like I would watch like when I started, I would watch YouTube tutorials on like how to mix certain ways and stuff. And then after a while, you kind of just fool around with it yourself and like whatever you think sounds good, like you'll remember that for when you want to use it again or whatever, and kind of just learn yourself.
So when did the writing process for part five kind of happen for you? Was this something that when you did part one, did you already have, part one through five in mind already? Or, did these just kind of flow naturally after every release?
Yeah, no, it was kind of the very first Some Boring Love Stories. I just thought it was like a cool title for a track because I don't know, I feel like a lot of my songs are just boring love stories, So I just took like I'm constantly writing songs, so I just took like I forget how many it was, probably 5 or 6 songs on that EP. I just took them and I just threw them out and I made an EP because I was like, this is cool, like my first EP. And then I had no idea that I'd end up having five like 2 years down the road. But yeah, it's kind of just each time it was just like I'm gonna make another Some Boring Love Stories right now. But yeah, it was not planned.
Do you feel or do you notice like that development from your writing process, as well as like the way that you sing, as well as like the way that you kind of produce within each EP that you release?
Yeah, I definitely feel so. I mean, I think there's still like some decent like on my older EPs, like I still think there's like good songs on there, but in terms of like I think I still like I think the biggest thing is just like how my voice developed and like I feel like I sound a lot different than I used to. And like a lot of people can tell like my older songs from my newer songs just from like how my voice sounds. But in terms of production, I think it's gotten better as well. Um, but yeah, I try to keep like the lo-fi sound to it, which is like not too high quality produced and stuff.
Yeah. Now,
Mhm.
as your voice kind of develops, like you kind of mentioned, does that impact your writing process at all? Like, does that open more doors for writing, or does that? I mean, does that even matter?
No, you're probably right. I mean, I can I think like I'm pretty sure my range has increased as well. So like I can probably sing like higher melodies than I used to not be able to or go harder on the mic and stuff now, which will definitely help for some genres I'm aiming for or whatever. But yeah, no, I think it has helped definitely.
One thing that I had noticed within each EP that you've released is that Roseboy is a common collaborator of yours.
Hmm.
What is it about Roseboy that this collaboration process continues to happen, and how do you feel like he kind of makes you a better artist every time that you guys collaborate?
Yeah, I mean, the main thing, I met him probably 2 years ago. I think we played Rocket League together. And excuse me, we were just talking and like we had a lot in common and like I loved his rap and stuff and he liked my voice. So like we kind of just we became friends like instantly. And I don't like personally I don't like writing with a lot of people because it's like I'll find it either awkward or like I don't like the writing style. It's just like a lot of problems can happen. But like Rose Boy, like he's like the only guy that I consistently write with because it's just like I don't know, like we vibe together really well. So it's like there's never like any like tension or like we always agree with each other and stuff. So it's like it's pretty fun. And yeah, he's a great guy. So I like working with him.
It's interesting you say that you don't like to write with other people, because I feel like your storytelling is so kind of unique in a sense that like I feel like it's almost hard to let anybody else come in and
Hmm.
help you and or make it better. I feel like you have to do it yourself, or it just won't sound the same. Do
Definitely.
you feel like that was something that like you tried collaborating with people in the past and you noticed that it wasn't working for you, or you just always didn't feel comfortable collaborating in writing with other people?
Yeah, no, definitely. There's been collaborations or like working together where it's like I don't really like what they added, even though it sounds kind of mean, but it's like I don't know. It kind of sucks when you have like a big story in mind or like a project you have in mind, and then the person you want to work with kind of like goes off track from it. And like it's not their fault or anything. It's just like it's not the picture that you painted in your head. But yeah, every time I've worked with Rose Boy, like I feel like he adds to the song, and like nails exactly like what I wanted in it. So yeah.
Yeah. And in saying that, with this new EP, Part Five, you have a few other collaborations throughout the EP. So, what made it special about them that you brought them on board, and what was that creative process between all of you guys?
Yeah. Well, when the hospital was my home had Rose Boy on it, and that one was like just that was like a really deep song, and like we're trying to make it like very personal and like put the listener like in the place, of the person in the story. And he kind of added like a whole different, like I was kind of talking about one thing, and then he brought in like a whole nother side to the story, which was really cool. So I liked that a lot. And then what were the other songs in EP? Fire in Your Eyes. I was featuring my sister in that one. She kind of just did like some background vocal pluck things that I like mixed up, and I thought it added some nice sounds to it. And then No Promises had Scapegoat in it, and he actually made the beat for that song as well. So he kind of just flowed on it very nicely because he's the one that made the beat, and I thought that one turned out great. Um, Silver Linings, that was just me and John Cunningham. Throw It All Away had Jomi, and yeah, I made Throw It All Away, and then I couldn't write to it anymore. Like I was kind of done with the song. I had no idea what to write, so I was like, I need to get somebody featured on this. And Jomi, he kind of has like a punk sounding voice as well, so I was like, I feel like he'll do this. So yeah,
And then you have Stay Forever.
Stay Forever, yes. And who's featuring on that? Oh,
It was
Monica.
Monica, yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of just the producer. So he kind of like made the beat, and then I just recorded on it. So yeah.
So in making this EP, like what was it about these beats that you felt like were appropriate for each track, especially when you get personal with some of these tracks?
I usually when I work, I usually find the beat first, and then I'll record to it. Like if I like the sound of the beat. And out of the whole EP, I think the beat that I liked the most was the Fire in Your Eyes beat.
Mm,
When I heard that one, it was just like the piano and everything. It kind of just like, I don't know, put me in a mood, And like I was like, dang, this sounds crazy. So I recorded to that one instantly, and I came up with the chorus melody. And yeah, that one I just wanted to like, I didn't even have like really a concept in mind or like a genre I was aiming for with that one. I just wanted to make like something that sounded like super amazing and chill.
yeah.
Anyways, yeah, so that was that one. And then No Promises, that's the one that Scapegoat made. And it was kind of more like electronic sounding, I guess, kind of reminded me of like a video game and stuff. So
Mm.
I uh I tried to keep that one just more like 8-bit lo-fi, kind of like, I don't know. I don't even know what to call these genres because they're kind of like all around the place. But yeah, so I just tried to keep that one more chill, lo-fi, and sad as well, I guess. And then the weirdest beat on the EP was probably the Clash of the Titans one, which was like the hyperpop type beat. And that one, I was just that day, I remember when I heard the beat, I was just listening to a bunch of different like hyperpop beats, and then that one kind of stuck out. I was like, this sounds pretty crazy. I was just freestyling like melodies on it. I actually freestyled like most of that song, or
Yeah.
yeah, and like I suck at freestyle, so it was pretty cool for
You
me.
can't tell.
Yeah, so that one was kind of just like it came naturally. It was pretty cool though. I think yeah, hyperpop's kind of like it's kind of a weird genre because it's like on the rise a little bit. I feel like right now, but like
Yeah.
not too many people listen to it still. So yeah, that one was pretty cool. And then Silver Linings, that's the only song where I wrote the song, and then I had a producer make a beat for it. So
Mm,
I actually went to LA with that song, and me and John Cunningham, he like produced for X and Halsey and stuff and a bunch of big people.
yeah.
And he invited me to his house, and we were just vibing. And I showed him like the little snippet that I had for that song, and then he started making a beat for it. He had guitars and stuff, and it sounded pretty cool. So yeah.
Were there any particular songs on this EP that you kind of reconstructed a beat from, like maybe any type of things that are not normally used for beats or to create music?
Um, I mean, like I said, I usually don't have any input on the beats. Like I'll usually just use
Yeah,
the beat how it is. So
right.
not that I remember. I mean, I'll add like I don't think I did on the CP though, but sometimes I'll add like extra instruments, but that's about as far as I go.
Yeah. Now, what was some of the like? What was one of like the biggest challenges that you kind of faced in making either these songs happen or a particular song happen? Like, I'm sure there were times where like songs almost got scratched, or it just took you so many rewrites or
Yeah.
reconstructions before you finalized it.
Yeah. Let me think. Yeah, Fire in Your Eyes. That one went pretty quick. No Promises was quick. Like I've definitely had times where like I've struggled with songs, but I'm pretty sure the CP was all pretty easy flowing for me. Um Stay Forever, I'm pretty sure was quick. I think Silver Linings was probably the hardest one because I had the hook and then I remember I was just trying to make verse melodies that sounded good enough, I guess. And it took me a while to like nail the melodies and come up with things that I liked listening to. But other than that, I think that's it. Like Clash of the Titans was super quick as well. They were all pretty easy and yeah, compared to what I've had in the past.
But the crazy thing is that like you've released so much music, especially with these 5 parts. So why continue doing EPs as opposed to like albums? Like, I know some artists are like scared of the album process, but is that the same for you? Like, what is your like reasoning behind this?
Um, I mean, I definitely could make an album, but a lot of my songs, I don't know. I feel like if I were to release a like say like 15 song album, a
Hmm.
lot of the songs wouldn't get like attention,
Right.
Because I like me personally, like I don't think I've ever listened to like a full album, within like the first week of it coming out or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I think the only person I've listened to is like X's album, like the question mark album. That was like the
Mhm.
only album I've listened to all the way through. But yeah, so it's kind of like, and I don't blame people. Like that's a lot of time, So I want to just keep it short and pick out like the best songs that I have at that time, so that yeah, so that people enjoy the whole thing and don't get bored from it.
I mean,
Yeah.
you make it hard to get bored with your music. So
Thank you. Thank you.
like
Yeah.
I don't, I wouldn't mind a full record from you, but then again, we have all these EPs to listen to.
Yeah. I think it's more fun as well, just dropping EPs like at like sooner dates, because a lot of artists like they'll drop an album a year, I think it is, or something
Yeah,
like that. And so like, I like dropping like 3 or 4 EPs in a year.
right. That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, like, congratulations also with the success of your collaboration with Bia Badubi. I always say her name wrong, but it's like she's such a like amazing artist. But
Yeah.
um, on top of the success of that, like I really loved that Mark Hoppus jumped on board
Mhm.
on the vocals for that. Like, how did that kind of happen for you? Because I feel like a lot of us, especially like a lot of the artists today, like a lot of the reason why they're doing music is because of bands like Blink 182. So,
Yeah.
how did that opportunity with Mark and Blink kind of happen for this track?
I mean, when I first signed to Columbia, they were like asking me if there's anybody I want to work with, and I said Blink, and they're like, okay, they're signed to us as well, so we can probably get that going. I was like, okay, epic, and it happened really quick, so it was just kind of like that was like the first thing like when I signed where I was like, dang, like this is sick. And yeah, so they got a hold of Mark and Travis, and then they're like, hey, this guy Powfu wants to work with you. And like I thought we're gonna make like I want to make like a punk song together. And then they're like, oh, we can like remix whatever. I was like, okay, cool. And then they did a remix to it, which is pretty epic.
That's sick.
Yeah, it was
did,
pretty
did
crazy.
did you get to collaborate with them when they were recording their portion, or was this all completely separate?
Yeah, no, it was all separate. I was just I heard that they're gonna remix it, so I was pretty excited. And then I was just waiting, and they just sent it over. I was like, this is sick. Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
it's also kind of cool because like I feel like they've never done a song that style before. So it's kind of cool to see them switch it up.
Right. And
Yeah.
lastly, like how awesome was it like being able to collaborate with your dad on 2 songs for his band?
Um, what songs
It
was
was
that again?
for Chocolate Milk and for
Oh,
I Can See the Light. I think it was covers, right?
yeah, no, those weren't covers. We wrote those like a long time ago. He didn't even tell me he was releasing them. Like it was,
Surprise.
yeah, it was a surprise for me. I was like, oh, I was like, why'd you put these out? But I guess he wanted to or something. Um, yeah, those are way before my Powfu days. So if you listen to those, you'll get some inside intel, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I definitely loved your rapping on "I Can See the Light." I
Oh
was
yeah,
really
thank
like,
you.
this is sick.
That's good. I
Bring some more
forget
of
what
that as well.
yeah, yeah. I forget what it sounds like, to be honest. I haven't listened to that in a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Well, I mean, congratulations with your success and your new EP, man, and hopefully, like once things are clear, we can reunite again and maybe like in the studio and like talk more about music and stuff. So.
Thank you, bro. Means a lot. It was nice meeting you.